something you want destroyed and bombarding it until very little, if anything, remains in the aftermath. A military force might be attempting to destroy a fortress or a castle. They might be trying to destroy an industrial centre, a swath of agricultural land, or at times they may even have human targets. Perhaps they want to shell an enemy trench full of soldiers until it becomes uninhabitable, or launch explosive rounds into the path of an oncoming battalion, or perhaps they're looking to cause civilian casualties, levelling a town or a city. Regardless of the specific target, artillery is very, very good at causing destruction wherever it's aimed. And bigger guns, better rounds typically lead to a considerably bigger bang. With that destructive factor comes the ability to instill fear in an opposing force, and the potential to create a psychological element that makes victory considerably more likely. On the other side of the artillery coin is suppression. Suppressive artillery fire still does have destructive potential, but perhaps the easiest way to think about it in layman's terms is by creating an area of denial. Imagine you're an army captain, getting ready to break your troops out of a concealed area behind a tree line and cross a big open field. You can take them left, take them right, or you can take them up the middle. But if your adversary has artillery, they can make that choice a whole lot easier. If they keep up constant artillery fire on the left and right corners, and if you want to make that crossing, you're going to have to go down the middle, regardless of whatever mines, trenches, machine gun nests, or anything else might be waiting for you. Suppressive artillery uses that same basic concept to achieve a wide range of battlefield results. Artillery that can fire at ranges can have the convenient effect of keeping enemy artillery away by threatening the same areas where those enemy guns would have to be placed in order to get into their own effective range. Artillery can be focused at a group of enemy troops that's already camped out at a certain point, sometimes fired at in an intensity meant to force them to flee, or sometimes fired scattered around their positions to keep them going. And at times, artillery can even be a way of creating a barrier, constantly shelling a line of territory or a specific area in order to make...
Hey, Aiden's online. What's up, Aiden?
In this way, suppressive fire often leads to fewer enemy losses, but enemy losses aren't always the point. It's one piece in a broader puzzle, and using artillery creative and sometimes
Hi,
Aiden. Bring about battlefield successes greater
What's up, Bob?
shells on their own.
Shout out to Bobby Forever, Runt Tyson.
Certainly has its
He's the one that wrote my bench program. He's in the chats. Check his channel out.
And my brothers.
Him and I trained together for 2 years, and we had really good results. I put over 200 pounds. No, was it 2 years or 3 years, Bob? Ric Flair, hell yeah. I was wearing a hat all day. Actually, that looks pretty good considering.
Their slow rates of fire, and again, their lack of precision, mean that it's generally much more useful to aim, say, a dozen artillery pieces at a certain...
Yeah, so Runt Tyson in the chat, him and I, he wrote my program for 3 years, and in those 3 years, I put 300 pounds on my total, competed at IPL Worlds twice, placed silver medal twice, was ranked top 3 in the world 3 years in a row. We had a pretty good run, man.
They're sort of left to just keep hammering what they've already destroyed.
I got some padding on. I got a little bit of a sports hernia, is the easiest way to describe it. And, actually, I'm going to have surgery. No. My surgery consultation is on the 20th, so they're going to look at it and sew it up. But I don't know when that's happening. I'll get my consultation on the 20th. What I want to know is, like, why do grown men get online and, like, point out the physical stuff of other people? It's weird. Like, I've gotten on a lot of lifting channels. You get these big guys, some of them are fat, some are skinny, and it's like, I've never, like, once thought to, like, point out something I don't like about him physically. That's just weird to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know, who does that? Hey, what's wrong with your face?
Self-propelled artillery sacrifices size. They can only ever get so big before they become too cumbersome and inefficient to be worth building, but they make up for that size limitation with their enhanced mobility. Capable of showing up in unpredictable locations and sometimes firing a couple of rounds before they move on, self-propelled artillery is a level of versatility and rapid response that can be sorely...
I want to know what you look like. You got any pictures of you I can look at?
The guns themselves are people with
Let's see what you look like. Let's do some comparisons. I'll take my shirt off and we'll do like flexing.
Commanders who coordinate the operation and figure out where to
Yeah,
fire
but-
from, artillery spotters who identify targets and aim the artillery, and whichever explosive happy bastard has the pleasure of firing. And while it's certainly possible for individual crews to operate by themselves, moving across the landscape and coordinating decentralized operations from afar, it's more common for multiple gun crews to combine into the main artillery. Artillery batteries also have scouts, cleanup crews, or other support personnel, and they might have as few as just 2 or 3 pieces of half dozen. Those factors
Very important.
which military
Safety spotter arm.
the general idea here is the same. Artillery takes a lot of hands to operate, and artillery pieces are typically at their best operating together, not one by one.
Like to see where the bar is going to land if I
Advanced
fail.
explosives launched artillery. Ancient artillery pieces took several gigantic
Make sure it's not gonna-
weapons called the ballista could fire huge projectiles against enemy infantry, while catapults and later trebuchets could sling heavy stones that were capable of bringing down massive walls. But explosive artillery traces its history back to China, where ancient writers and artists chronicled the use of basic rockets nearly 2,000 years ago. In Europe, the first record of a formula for gunpowder emerged in the 9th century, while the technology used to cast cannons came along a bit later. It's difficult to conclusively identify the first use of cannon in battle, partially because it's difficult to draw a line between a proper cannon and a sort of proto-cannon. But the distinction...
First Master, that's my son, Aiden. Where were you yesterday? I tried to pick you up for boxing.
In Europe, the answer's a good bit clearer. The first use of artillery-sized cannons...
It looks unhealthy. Yeah, it is unhealthy. Go ahead, check it out.
...came early in the Hundred Years' War, Creasy, when Genoese mercenaries fighting for France came under artillery fire from somewhere around 5 to 20 cannons under the control of England.
So you can see like the
The
split
cannons
right there.
were, to put it kindly,
They're gonna bring that together.
and they didn't actually have any real impact on the battlefield, but their psychological effect was a lot bigger, smashing
And in the meantime,
battlefields.
I wear this just as a precaution,
Anything
so it
the
doesn't
Genoese
stretch
had
out any further.
experienced, and although it was English longbows and swords of both sides that actually won the battle, the cannon absolutely...
It's mostly cosmetic. I really don't even need to get it fixed.
Across
But
European methods of cannon
I
casting,
decided I'm gonna get the surgery
the
because
technology to China...
it gets old answering questions. That everybody just assumes I take a bunch of GH and insulin, and I'm like,
The arrows and sometimes just what shot down the barrel and explode out of it. Typically mounted on 2-wheel carriages and towed by horses, cannons advanced in their technology slowly but steadily until the 19th century. The materials...
hey Anna, if you don't like it, there's other streams.
Serious sophistication.
You know what I mean?
Mom,
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Damn right, it's better than yours. I'd teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Ammunition made of scatter. Devastated infantry formations, but was useless against the big walls, while
Oh,
heavy storm shells
what's the program
were
today?
more than capable of busting through serious static defenses. And just as important as understanding the use of ammunition,
So,
is understanding
we
the
got-
ballistic arc, something that a range of societies worked out with their own mathematicians.
Working up to
For
305.
centuries, a few societies stood out.
Is that
for
the
their
failure
ability
with the
to
straight
advance
bar?
artillery technology and leaps and bounds. The Portuguese made excellent use of the stuff during their conquests across Africa and Asia, both at sea as the primary tool for their naval armadas and in land assaults against a range of fortified adversary strongholds. Portuguese Empire figure out how to make naval artillery work for them, but they devoted substantial resources towards developing dedicated siege weaponry and dedicated anti-personnel cannons, along with powerful ballistic firing cannons that could fire calibers of a weight of up to 4,000 pounds or 800 kilograms. Over in China, the Ming Dynasty had a similar approach, but worked to devise a system in which their light cannons were fired in volleys capable of smashing and battering large infantry forces and peppering enemy formations. Early use of suppressive rather than destructive fire. The people of Java the success in casting large, medium-sized and small artillery guns, as well as hand cannons. The Portuguese and Spanish imperial forces had a rough go of it when the Europeans realised they weren't the only artillery-equipped hotshots in town. The transition to modern artillery came around in the mid to late 19th centuries. Militaries figured out how to use steel in the construction of larger artillery pieces and worked out another critical improvement: breech loading. Now, breech-loaded guns allowed ammunition to be inserted at the butt end rather than shoved down the muzzle. And that the introduction of rifling, through things like arrows make the projectile spin, opened up a whole world of possibilities. Now guns could get they could fire a lot further, use more powerful explosives, and they were significantly more precise. The first popular rifle artillery was the British Arms Strike, manufactured starting in 1850.
Did everybody vote last night?
Other empires raced to acquire it.
Did you do your duty as an American?
Bigger things like indirect fire and long-range shelling. It was only in the early 20th century that modern artillery would be put to the test in a war that was far greater and far more ruinous than anyone at the time had expected.
Style is a working sport.
Some 60%
From what I've seen, just core physics.
Would be caused by the explosion of artillery shells. Direct
Expound on that.
It wasn't unusual for soldiers to be pulverized.
Sorab said? Give me some context on that one.
The damage they caused to the human body.
Voted for Trump.
Terrifying.
You know what? I was.
Just downright.
If you recall, Roy Jones Jr. went to the Olympics in Korea, where he battered his opponent unrecognizable, but he didn't knock him out. So I went to the judges, and the judges gave the medal to the Korean. Even the Korean, when he received the medal, was shocked. He was like, "Holy crap!" Now, if that man had any honor, he would have just handed that medal to Roy. Now, you could make the argument that if that wouldn't have happened, Roy wouldn't have become the knockout artist that he had become, because he said he'll never let it go to the judges again. What's my point, you ask? Donald Trump, baby. When in doubt, knockout. Yeah, don't let it go to the judges. Leave no doubt. And you know what? My sisters, or my liberal friends, and I have a lot of liberal friends, they're nuts, man. They think that we're the conservatives, and I'm not even a Republican. I consider myself an independent. They think that we're some fringe minority that's hiding on Reddit somewhere. And I'm like, 60% of the country is not a fringe minority, my friend. Clean your laptop. Nah. This is my garage laptop. I'm not going to clean it.
At Verdun,
Yeah, I guess I could.
both sides to face artillery bombardments that made their landscape look as if it were the surface of the moon.
Let's see, Matt. What's up, brother? Semper Fi, brother.
Would run out of bodies first.
Uh,
And if World War I was humanity's
Tyson Max has exposed you in the past for leaking intel on him.
horror of
Are you guys talking about
then World War II was when those lessons were put into practice.
when Bob used to talk shit about me behind my back to the other like Discord pages?
61% of Soviet casualties and 70% of German casualties on the Eastern Front were caused by artillery and the technology
Which I know all about.
everywhere across
Like,
North Africa.
I just don't care about any of those people.
Land-based artillery instead relied
You know what I mean?
on
No, they're giving away your information to people.
It also saw the introduction
People you don't know, who never will meet, and don't give a shit about.
the Gustav gun, used by Germany in order to destroy the fortifications of the French Maginot Line. With only 2 copies built, the Gustav gun was
Esther, hey, what's up?
It weighed in at 1,350 metric tons, capable of firing.
Yeah, it's a real cool laptop. It's a ThinkPad. You know what I mean?
40 kilometers.
It's all right. It does its job.
150 crew to assemble. It had to be transported by railroad, and it could fire up to 1 round every 30
Look
minutes.
up Roy Jones Jr. You must. Oh no! I remember when he dipped his toes.
German artillery tended to bring
into,
in size and
music?
firepower. American forces in the West tended to make up for with accuracy. And
Bob, they
high
used to send me screenshots of the shit you were saying. Like this is old news though. Like
sacrificing
I don't care about any of that crap.
human lives despite fighting at the bad end of an ammunition and artillery piece discrepancy. That was a hard.
Okay, how many steroid shots you taken, sir?
Really only dealt with.
Let me get this, and we'll talk about that.
The Soviets would internalize their descendants.
What are you doing, sweetie?
And we should be really clear here. Artillery is not just a facet of
The
naval
remote died.
Where's the rechargeable?
They're inside the house, but the light's not on.
Well, I prefer you try the rechargeables before you dig into those.
I did.
Artillery provided the ground for a steamroller. In that war, the far better artillery.
So what are you saying, the battery charger's not working?
Outrange and outmaneuver their Ethiopian adversaries. And when Ethiopia finally turned the tides, it was because they had received some seriously impressive Soviet artillery and were able to rely on Spooner's barrages to clear the way for infantry and armored assaults. In other cases, artillery was an albatross around the neck of fighting forces that did not do. For example, in the Toyota of the 1980s, between Libya and Chad, Libyan forces had a substantial artillery advantage, but were weighed down by those heavy weapons and were able to respond when they came under attack from Chadian attacking forces using machine guns on the backs of pickup trucks. For wars big and small across the 20th century, artillery has been mistake, and often it's the way that a given military can use its artillery that determines whether they succeed or fail. When we talk about modern day artillery, is the only correct place to begin. It's a reality that the world is used to after watching 2.5 years.
Naga, you're my role model. Thanks, brother. How often do you train? Probably more than I should. I'm out here every day. It's like what I do when I get home from work. I don't have a good camera angle, though.
Modern militaries must bow to respect. Howitzers and field guns on.
That's a little better.
Russian military strategy, something that the nation has shown in Chechnya, Donbass, and now in its forces. In particular, Russia relies on massed firepower. The use of a lot of.
So let's answer the steroid question first. I was actually talking about this with my doctor. Let me mute this. This is interesting. So, I take about 200 milligrams of test a week and 100 milligrams of DHB or DBH. DHB. DHB, which by a lot of people's standards is like almost nothing. And they ask, like, well, you know, because I look pretty juicy. Since I was natural up to the age of almost 46 years old, I'm 50 now, so that's 4 years. The doc was saying that lifetime naturals have more androgen receptors, and the fact is, I weighed about the same as I weigh now. Now my body I had a higher body fat percentage, so I probably put on 8 to 10 pounds of muscle, and I'm much more lean. But I've never really exceeded 220 pounds. A couple times I went over to about 230, but then I cut back down again. So I'm not really any heavier. I don't really need to take much of anything. I don't need to eat a ton of protein. Like, I didn't really have to change my diet a whole lot because I'm not really putting that much more mass on. So I would be what's called a hyper responder. Now, because he's saying that if guys that have been on gear for like their entire younger life, they would have to do comparatively way more to get the same results because the body has accommodated to exogenous hormone being added to the mix for all those years. Since was a natural most of my life, I responded really, really well to it. The male yoga pants for men, compression pants. See, I do dress like this on purpose just to see how many men make comments on my appearance. Because if you think about it, like, have you ever just like gone to another man's website and say he's doing some exercise, and you're like, I just can't imagine making a comment about his physical appearance. You know what I mean? Like, and I do it to get those comments, just to see who the weirdos are. You look emotional. Thank you. Started today, 500 herniated discs. Wait, let me scroll. Peptides, Taz. I can't keep up with the comments. Yeah, I use peptides, but not, I use BPC 157 and TB 500 for injury recovery. When I blew my shoulder out, I used those, and it worked really well. My shoulder, came out of its socket, and that was in late 2022, I think, 23. And within 6 months, I was back benching over 315. Prison, so you're my role model. How often do you train? I train pretty much every day of the week. Like, and you don't have to. You can train 3 days a week and get the same results I have. I just enjoy training. So on off days when I'm not lifting, I'm usually doing like boxing or cardio or something fun. But I try to be active every day. Sin Spawn X, do they make those pants for men? No. Actually, you know what's funny? I did try on a pair of my wife's yoga pants just to see what the difference is. And the difference is the way the cloth is cut. If you put women's pants on, it splits your tenders in half. The way they sew the material together. But other than that, there's absolutely no difference. How many sets per body part do you do? 1 set to failure generally. I like the mohawk. Thank you. I've been wearing a hat all day, so it's flat, but normally it sticks up pretty good. All right, I've seen pants from Bobby 3 or 4 times. Was there an issue we need to talk about? Cephas, brother, what's up? I love you too, brother. Man, you're kicking ass. Hey, everybody, check out Cephas. Definitely check his page out. He is, in my opinion, the #1 powerlifter on YouTube right now. With the amount of progress he's made and the amount of time he's been training, I've not seen anybody go from. Well, he started out pretty strong. So you started out with like a class 2 total, and now you're international elite, and it's been what, 3-4 years? Incredible progress, and he's still got a long way to go. I expect to see him listed with the all-time greats in his weight class. The guy's a squat machine. How many meals do you have a day? I don't really eat that much. So, like I said, I'm 50. I weigh 220 pounds. I've been 220 pounds for the last 10 years of my life, give or take. There's been times where I've been 230, and there's been times I've been 198, but I'm right in that 200, 220 range. So you don't really need to eat like the bodybuilders do, those guys that are eating 5,000 plus calories a day, and they're these huge mass monsters. They're trying to maintain 280 to 300 pounds of body weight. I don't need to do that. I can probably get away with like 2,500 to 3,000 calories most days. Now, on the days I train heavier, I do consume a little more. And on the days I'm not doing anything, I consume a little less. I tend to do intermittent fasting most days. Diet, that's really nothing to it. But again, like I said, I'm 50. I'm maintaining a weight class. I'm not trying to bulk up. You read the same comment 3 times, by the way. Yeah, that happens a lot on this. Yeah. I'm just joking about the pants thing. Like, obviously, I'm wearing them. I don't care. Like, I dressed myself. I know what I look like. Hello from Ireland. Free spirit. What's your height? 5'9" ¾ I put 5'10" on my license. When they measured me at the doctor's without shoes on, I was just a 1/4 inch under that, so I can't. And my wife's like 1/4 inch taller than me. All right. Burstmaster, how many hours do you go without food? 18 is what I usually shoot for. You start getting the benefits of autophagy, which is where your body starts releasing hormones, and it starts scavenging the damaged lipids. cholesterols, proteins in your blood, and then soon after that, there's a bunch of awesome changes in the body that actually help with regeneration. Fasting's amazing, but a lot of people, they do like 12 hours. It's just not enough. You got to at least, when I was looking at the literature, the medical literature, it was suggesting you really need to get to that 14-hour mark, and then if you can push that into 18 to 20, you get some really, really awesome benefits from intermittent fasting, and that's especially for people that are recovering from injuries, have gastrointestinal issues, suffer from bloating. It helps with all types of conditions. Esther, please respond appropriately. What am I responding to? The comments are moving quick. What did I miss? What body weight do you think is best for overall fitness? I don't know. It depends on your height. Like, what do you mean by fitness? Because a lot of people have a different definition of fitness. For some, it's looks. For others, it's longevity. For me, it's the functional ability to do the things I love to do, play with my kids, that kind of thing. Cephas, we absolutely have to collaborate. I've got so much I want to talk to you about, and I think we would do an awesome podcast. I'd love to expose you to the people on my subscriber list that don't know you, if there is any. I'm sure they do. Any gear, bro? Yes. I've lost complete motivation after 10 years of bodybuilding. Anything you can guide me through? Yeah, here's the thing. Consistency is the number one attribute that you want to cultivate. Just showing up at the gym you got it 3 times a week. Make yourself do something fun. Just show up, even if you're not motivated, and just have fun. Just start tinkering with stuff. Do the lifts you like to do. The other thing that really, really helps is fellowship. Get somebody that can help you be accountable, somebody that will share your journey with you. A lot of us do it alone. This is so ingrained in my daily routine that it's as ubiquitous as eating or sleeping. It's like training is just going to happen, but a lot of people, they don't enjoy it, or they're not as obsessed with it as we are. And I'm not necessarily saying that's good or bad, because you could make the argument that I have body dysmorphia and what I do is an unhealthy obsession. But I think 3 times a week, if you can just show up, just force yourself to go and do something. You know what I mean? Just like on the days I don't want to train, or I'm feeling sick and I'm not going to do it, I'll make myself go out in the garage and do a set of curls or something. Just something. I did something. And if you keep doing that, every time you feel like you just don't want to do anything, you just do one little thing. Just make yourself do it. A set of push-ups. Pick something. You're going to feel better about yourself. Greetings from Canada, Perrin. Parent? Is that Perrin? Burstmaster. Hey, would you like to collaborate with me? Yeah, of course. You're my son. I asked for biceps training advice a few days ago. I've been following your advice. Oh, did I ignore your comment, Owen? I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I've been getting so many comments, it's hard to keep up, but I really do try to respond to everybody. Sometimes it takes me a few days to get through them all. Let me do this set, and we can talk about biceps. Awful. Where did the 25 go? Oh, it's back there. Hold on, I'm gonna tinkle real quick. when the loving starts and the lights go down. There's not another living soul around. What are you working up to? 305 today, Bob? Let me see. 305 to failure, and then tempo, overhead press, and overhead extensions. Written by Runt Tyson, Bobby Forever. If you need help with programming, check his channel out. Thank you, Cephas. I heard they told me you got monetized too. I didn't see your stream, but I heard you killed it. Any of you guys, you gotta check this guy out, Cephas. He's in the chat. A best powerlifter on YouTube, in my opinion, right now. There are guys that are stronger than us, but this guy's killing it. This guy's going to be Hall of Fame lifter. I'm telling you right now. And you're in your 30s, right? What are you, 36, 35? Blasted Cruise or Psycho PCT? Neither. I'm on a what's called the old man protocol. I take 200 milligrams of test a week and then 100 milligrams of DHB. It's an interesting compound, and ever since I went on that, I'm not going to do anything else. And then if I'm going to compete, about 8 weeks out, I'll usually introduce Anadrol or Anavar. That's another one that works fairly well, because here's the deal. It's like I'm 50, I'm at my weight that I need to be at. I'm not trying to get any bigger, so I really don't need a whole lot to maintain this. I could probably maintain this with just testosterone. I'd probably lose a little strength and size, but I wouldn't look much different. And a lot of that is because I was a natural lifter up until the age of 45. If you go back and look at my earlier videos that I have on my channel, the first, year or so, those are all me natty. And if you look at the difference, I'm more vascular, my shoulders are a little more capped, I'm a little more chiseled, but I'm really about the same size. I was 220 then, I'm 220 now. All I did was recomposition my body a little bit, you know what I mean? And 4 or 5 years older. Uh, 50, LTZ, 50 years old. What are you doing with the laptop? I've got the, I can see you guys on my device popping up, but it's really tiny and I need glasses. So I'm also on the stream here. I can see everybody talking. And I've also got my program so I can see what I need to be lifting. What type of music do you listen to while training? I really don't. I usually put podcasts on. You know what I mean? I just like to listen to all variety of things. Sometimes it's Warhammer lore. Other times it's Dr. Jordan Peterson. It swings from intellectual to mindless entertainment. Sometimes I really like when they read comic books to me. Now, if I'm gonna rock out, if I want to get really just psyched for lifting, there's nothing better than System of a Down or Tool. I'm punk rock at heart. Pixies, Sex Pistols, Dead Kennedys, Fugazi. The Nails, Butthole Surfers. You know, I'm punk rock at heart. L7. Limp Biscuit. You know what? Everybody, Generation X won't admit to this, but we actually rocked out to them. The only thing is about them is that was when, at the height of their popularity, we saw them as being on the nutsack of Korn so hard. They were trying to be Korn so badly. And then Eminem pretty much ruined their career. But yeah, man, everybody listened to Limp Bizkit. You'd be a liar if you said you didn't. That's like saying you didn't listen to Vanilla Ice. Do 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 do. I don't listen to that. Yeah, you did. I saw you dancing. The guy has a beer gut. I haven't had a beer in 13 years. Do 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 do. Death metal's fun. I play the drums. Hello, I'm from Indonesia and I subscribe to you. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Kid Rock. Yeah, dude, we all rocked out. We all rocked out. Don't lie and say you didn't. BLM. Remember that time I beat you up in high school? Was that you? I got my ass beat in high school a lot. Here's the thing, though. I never backed down. Even though I got my ass kicked up and down the street, I never backed down. That one motivated guy. Brother, you are killing it. Everybody got to check this guy out, too. That one motivated guy is another young up-and-coming lifter who is killing it. Now, his preferred platform is Instagram, and I sadly admit I don't monitor Instagram as much as I should. Well, my device is also my work phone, so I shut the alerts off on it, and sometimes I don't get messages, and I really apologize for that. I see you guys, and I'm making the rounds, and I want to make sure I'm giving love to everybody, but that one motivated guy, just check him out. He's kicking ass, taking names. Your physique is awesome. From where you started, which was not that long ago, the progress you have made is incredible. Can you do some sit-ups? Good talking smack in the comments. Every fighter has gotten his ass beat. Yeah, I used to. Like, I've had my nose broken like 4 times. And I got the lip. Bap. I don't think I want to fight in high school. I'll be honest with you. I was that kid that got stuck in the locker. But I was scrappy. You know what I mean? Like, I was always down. My motto was, you can beat me up, but you'll never shut me up. I remember this guy, Mike Gonzalez, was just like wailing on me. And he gets up and he's walking away, and right when he turns the corner, I called his mom a whore. And he turns around and he starts running after me, and I'm like, bye, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. You know, shit, here we go. So that was me. I was that kid. And then, of course, if my friends were getting beat up, because we were the nerds, chess club, art club, comic books, that's me. So I had to defend my homies, because they were always getting beat up by the, you know, like, I don't know why did big guys pick on the smallest kids in school, but you know how it is. Whole story, so funny. 15 from Sweden and weigh 225, bench 315, kick ass. I want to keep getting stronger and bench. My problem is I don't want to get too fat. No. Don't get, I can't tell you, like, I don't know how tall you are. A lot of guys say, you want to bench more, get bigger. Yes, of course. As your body weight goes up, all of your lifts will go up. No. Find a weight that you're healthy with, that you're comfortable with, that whatever mate you're trying to attract finds attractive. Most women, for example, don't like guys that look like molars. And even I'm pushing it. And get as strong as you can at that weight. And then, once you start hitting those plateaus and you've made every concerted effort, you can look at other options, whether that's the use of PEDs or putting on more body weight or whatever. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I would do before I even consider either of those. First is programming, get a coach, a trainer, and really see if you're doing everything correctly. But no, I would stay the same weight. JFK. 315 well, I for some reason I believe him. 315 is a lot. God, it took me 5 years to get 3 plates. But you tell me what you can lift something, I just believe you. I take you at your word. Bro, on crazy steroids. Tell us what crazy steroids I'm on. You have the floor, PG. Let us know. Let everybody know what steroids I take. Not at all. Taken. Do you use Blackstone Labs? Oh, is that that guy that talks like this? He's got the black hair and he wears the t-shirt and he talks like this. No, I'm not all natural, but I don't take Tren. I'm 50 years old. What does it take to maintain that besides consistency? I mean, you guys are new to the chat. I really just explained this. If you go back to my older videos, I started taking testosterone at the age of 40, almost 40, about 46 years old. Right in there between 45 and 46. I'm 50 now. And I've done a couple cycles. But my body weight is about the same. I was 220 when I was natural. I'm about 220 right now. And then, of course, I recompositioned. I'm a little more chiseled. I've got bigger shoulders. I put on about 8 pounds of lean muscle mass, drop fat. So if you compare the two pictures, I had a pretty decent physique as a natural. It wasn't that far off from this. So I didn't really have to take much to get to this point. I responded really well to what, yeah. I mean, I did a couple of big cycles for powerlifting meets, and usually those were between 8 and 13 weeks long. But right now, I'm just taking 200 milligrams of testosterone a week and 100 milligrams of DHP. And I'm going to stay on that for the foreseeable future, depending on blood work. First thing I do when I wake up is I check my blood pressure, make sure I'm right around 120/70. There's other health markers that you want to really keep track of, because PEDs will kill you. Most men die from high blood pressure because it affects the organs. Over time, your organs will fail because of the constant hypertension. Some of them are liver toxic. There's a bunch of bad news if you're introducing that kind of stuff into your system. It fucks with your endocrine system. It just but most men, I don't know. I think that the benefits way outweigh the risks if you deploy them properly and appropriately. That's my opinion. It's like I've had, it's changed my life all for the better. Can you take steroids and just do push-ups and pull-ups? Yeah, you can, but you do a lot of them. A lot of the, like Herschel Walker, or a lot of those playground guys that do, like the muscle ups and stuff. There's a lot of those guys that are on gear too, which I don't have a problem with. But you can kind of see, the general rule is, if it looks unnatural, it probably is. We have this uncanny valley thing built into us where something doesn't look right. Probably isn't. How did you get testosterone? How do I get testosterone? They got a guy. I had a prescription of it at first, but then when you start introducing other stuff, kind of makes it hard to. Do I love steroids? No, I don't. I'm not for or against anything. I'm not for the use of steroids. I don't encourage the use of steroids. As a matter of fact, if you haven't pushed yourself to any kind of capacity to find what your natural limits are, I think that you're wasting your money if you start taking steroids, because you're going to have nothing downstream of it. Garbage in is garbage out. Um, it's not good. It's not bad. It's all about what you're using it for. If you have a drug addiction, you're going to kill yourself. I don't advocate that. I absolutely don't. If you haven't cultivated any kind of work ethics and you just want instant gratification, I don't know. How would I endorse that? You know what I mean? Like, no, do some work first. See what you're capable of before you. Like I said, I waited till I was 45 years old, and my quality of life was, starting to go down the toilet. I make no apologies for what I do. I mean, the fact that I'm still 50 and I can still do what I love, I mean, why would I think that's bad? But like, I don't know. I can't necessarily recommend what works for me for somebody else. Do I want to beat you with something or at something? Looks like Guile from Street Fighter. Oh, kick ass! Thanks. It's cool. I just noticed your PEDs have infected your hair. Awesome. Thank you. Yes. I know, because I'm not taking that much stuff. Everyone's like, yeah, you're on track. Just down in pills. They don't understand. You guys, they don't understand a little bit goes a long way. Shane, I just answered that question. I swear to God, like not even like 2 minutes ago. I'm not answering it again. I do all of them. How's that? We'll have to try supplement pills and do push-ups. What supplements are you thinking about? If you don't mind. No, it's okay. I really did. I don't know if you've been on the stream, but like everybody asks me what drugs I take like every 20 seconds, because people pop in and leave, and they haven't heard what I said 2 minutes ago. What was that? The one day I was asked how much I could bench like 45 times. I forgot the name. It's like a blue and black bottle. That sounds dubious, my friend. When you first started, how long did it take to get big? Well, I was a naturally stocky guy, so if I didn't train weights at all, didn't lift, I was still pretty muscular. You know what I mean? Like I had a good base to start with. I was probably like 185. Over a period of, we'll say 10 years, I slowly kept going up, and my heaviest was 250. I think that was at age 40. No, 36, and way too heavy. Never do that again. Once I got back down to the one, I was 198 for a long time, and then I went up to the 220 weight class, and I try to stay in between those two because of 50. The weight affects my knees. Being that heavy affects the quality of life. It's harder on your body, blood pressure, everything. Your body's bigger. It's got to do more shit. You got to eat more. You got to do more. Find a weight you're comfortable at that's easy to maintain, and then just build from there. And I think most people will really like the results they get. Instead of trying to bulk and cut all the time, just like find what you're comfortable at and try to get as big as you can around that weight. And then from there you can make some decisions. And by then you've learned how to manage your diet, you've learned how to train. It's easier to make adjustments. You want to add 5 pounds, it's easy to eat 500 calories more a day and slowly creep up. You want to lose 5 pounds, it's easy to cut 500 calories and slowly creep back down again. You know what I mean? Like, I'm built at this weight, and if I stopped training and I stopped everything, I would lose some size, but I really wouldn't look a whole lot different. How many reps at 315 were you able to bench before 405? My last bench video where I repped 315 out, I got it for 11 reps. Oh, before I was able to hit 405. 8 or 9. 8 or 9 reps, I think is right around there. What would you say to someone who started lifting a year ago and still has man boobs and 185 but still fighting the man boobs? SJL podcast. You have to introduce some cardio. That's the only thing that's going to burn that off. I highly recommend boxing. And you could suck at boxing. It doesn't matter. Get a heavy bag, set a timer for 3 minutes, and punch that bag for 3 minutes. You tell me, you're going to burn some calories, and it's just a fun way to get cardio in. But cardio is what's going to cut that. I always tell people, focus on getting stronger. Don't worry about dieting. The rest will take care of itself. It's a slow process. The body will recompose. But if you've got subcutaneous fat that's just bugging you, the only way to get rid of that is cardio. You know what I mean? But it'll happen. If you just focus on progressive overload training, get stronger, get bigger, the rest will take care of itself eventually. And watch your diet, because I know a lot of powerlifters that are very fat. You could be a beast and still be, huge. I don't recommend that. I don't care if you are one of those people. I have a lot of friends that are just mass monsters, and I love these guys, and they're gorillas, and they're fun to watch lift. But my concern is longevity. How much can the body put up with that for how long? Yeah, baby, we won. This morning, I just assumed the Democrats were going to pull some shit and try to steal the election. That's what I thought was going to happen. But then when I saw how soundly the Republicans won, it's like, holy shit, 60% of the country. And they're still calling us a fringe minority. But I'm also not a Republican. I consider myself more like a libertarian, independent type. I have a lot of conservative values, but you could say that I'm socially liberal. What I believe in is freedom. And the closest thing we're going to get to not having the government intervene in our lives and tell us what to do is, unfortunately, the Republicans. Biden rigged 2020. I absolutely believe that. They say that like all of his court cases got dismissed. They wouldn't hear them. And I understand, like, the Supreme Court's like doesn't want to start a civil war. Who am I supposed to give advice to? Let me do a sec. I'm spending too much time talking. When the loving starts and the lights go dim, and there's not another living soul around, you woo me until the sun comes up, and you say that you love me. I think I could have got one or two more, but I don't have a spotter. They say Trump took a bullet for us, but if he was given the option, would he have? I will say this though, he handled it. The way he handled it. Oh, I was on TRT one every week for about 4 months. $250 a month for it. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, doctor prescribed TRT is very expensive. And there's a couple places online you could buy stuff. I think ZUPH. Let's see. Z. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to type ZPH. Control C. Control V. I'm typing a response in chat. Put that in your search engine, and get back to me. Okay, so let's see. He's at 8 reps of 315 and stuck for 2 years. However, he's contemplating getting on gear before his goal of 405. Instead of answering him, I said for you to give advice. Who are we talking about? I'm sorry I missed that comment. 315, 3 seconds negative, 8 reps solid. Is that you, Tintin? Sorry for the disrespect earlier. Didn't read the title. Hey, sub for 5, brother. Hey, no, I no disrespect taken. I get. Tintin, well, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. So, Tintin, are you're at 8 reps with 315, which would put you on, I'm going to assume, right around 385 pounds on the bench. Am I right or wrong? And you're from Hungary. That's cool, man. Mr. Wondering. Thanks, man. I'm in daily. I'm 18. My max is 245, and I'm stuck. Any advice? Yeah, the advice I'm about to give to whomever, I'm trying to find out who's asking about getting on gear to get to 405. I want to get a confirmation on who that is. Transgenders for Trump 2024. Hey, get in where you fit in, brother. All are welcome here. This is what I tell people. Like, my nephew's trans, and believe me, I tried to talk him out of it. I said, you're going through a phase. It will pass. Whatever, live your life. I said, no matter what you do, you're my nephew. I love you. That will never change. I am not anti-trans. I don't give a shit what you do with your free time. And you know what? If you're cool and you want to train, we can hang out. I don't care. Just don't push your shit on me. You tell me I dead named you or didn't get your pronouns right, you're not gonna have a good time. Other than that, we're cool, man. We can hang. Tintin, that's a hard subject. I'm sorry for the kid. Well, okay, so we're talking about bench progression and plateaus. If you're doing 315 pounds for 8 reps, you're there. You're there. You're probably around 385, 390 on the bench. So I would want to look at your program. I want to see what kind of volume you're doing. And I would probably change the way you're training. Now, for me, what I like to do is I'll introduce for a short period of time up to 3 bench days a week. Seriously, you want to start benching more frequently. You can do that for about 3, no more than 4 weeks, and then take a deload and then try to hit a PR after that. But most people, what I found is their programs got too much volume and they're grinding themselves into the dirt and they're not giving themselves enough time to rest and heal up. The other thing I've noticed that a lot of people do wrong is tempo. You notice I go really slow when I go down, and then I fire off the chest as hard as I can. That nice slow negative, focusing on stretching the pectoral muscles as much as possible. Contrary to conventional wisdom, which has been years and years and years of bodybuilding, where you would see guys curling and they focus on the top part where the muscles contracted, the growth actually occurs at the stretch. So you want to really, if you want to get bigger biceps, you want to go from that fully stretched position and keep tension on that muscle. Same thing with the chest. You want to stretch those pecs as much as possible. You want to control that tempo. Just adding tempo to your lifting will improve all your numbers across the board, no matter what your program is. But then we want to look at what kind of volume are you doing? What is your lifting protocol? Are you doing a 5x5? Are you doing 5-3-1? Are you just winging it? Are you maxing out every day? You know, what kind of benching are you doing? 3 days a week following Prilepin's chart and small op every 6-ish months. But last 2 small op runs got no results. Okay. No, your coach is full of shit. Take a break from small op for 6 weeks. For 6 weeks, I want you to... Bob, where are you at? Bob, you still in the chat? This guy's perfect for high intensity. Because it totally changes from volume to what we're looking for is max effort sets. So instead of doing like 5 sets of 5 or maxing out every workout, you're going to try to do 1 working set to failure. Like I just did that. 7 or 8 reps. I didn't count. That's my working set. I'm done. I don't need to do any more than that. I took that to failure. But you also want to rotate the rep ranges. Prophet Fear, what's up, brother? Oh, yeah, everybody check out. So the Prophet Fear's in the chat. This guy right here, I consider to be an expert. That he knows what he's talking about. The way he trains would seem unconventional to a lot of people, but it's actually following, we'll say like science-based lifting, and you're going to get really good results if you check him out and start implementing some of the stuff he does. And I've started incorporating a lot of what he does into my program, and my numbers have gone up considerably. Bobby, so look at the comment right above you. Ollie, 3 days a week following Prilepin's chart and small op every 6-ish months, but the last 2 small op runs got no results. Would he not then probably respond to higher intensity, lower volume? Daniel Lifts, what's up, brother? Cephas is streaming and wants to collab with me. Yeah, I absolutely want to get with him too. Absolutely. Is it true that Prophet Fear is a Jew? I don't know if that's relevant. He's an American. Hey, fat Shandel. I was eating the knishes, but they were too goddamn chewy. Oh, my program. I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Let's see what we're doing next. 305 failure straight. Now we're doing tempo 4, 1, 2, 8. God damn it. Bob, I forgot what tempo is. How am I doing those? Yeah, I want to get with Cephas too. I need to talk to him. I don't know how to do the split screen on my computer. Like I'm still kind of new to all this software, and I see you guys like you'll see like the podcast where they got the screen and the guy in the corner and he's talking and you got the video playing in the background. I don't have that on my. I don't know how to set that up. He needs a lengthy deload or a week off. So now we're back to Ollie So when you say lengthy deload, what do you mean? Like how long would you recommend? Best drill for hip flexibility. Drill or stretch? 4 seconds down, 2 seconds up, 1 second pause at the top, and bottom push-ups after. Wait, so these are push-ups I'm doing? Those arms are meant to destroy gods. Please spare us. I am the merciless god of my eminent domain. Yeah, not too bad. You could do worse. So, Bob, am I doing push-ups? Is that what we're doing? Or is it, you said 4 seconds down, 2 seconds up, pause at the top, and pause at the top and bottom. Oh, okay, I know where we're at. Okay. Thanks, Tintin. Bench superset with push-up. And then at the end, go right into push-ups. Gotcha. So we'll do one set, you tell me if I did it wrong. What weight am I doing the tempo at? Is it the same weight, 305? Do you even lift, bro? Can you do a one-hand push-up? I don't know. Let's find out. One-hand push-ups like balance, right? Pretty much just got to balance yourself. So, what? Yeah, seems like it. Uh, 305, yes, okay. Been lifting for 30 years. Yes and no. I've been only heavy lifting for 10 years. I started, my first powerlifting competition was 40 and I'm 50. Before then, I was mostly doing like bro lifting, jarhead stuff, I guess you could say. Legs closer. Well, how do you balance? I remember I had Smolov for around 4 months now. Okay, Ollie, are you healed it up enough to train? Because it sounds to me like you could just start implementing a high intensity training program, which is undulating periodization. So what is that? That's a change of rep ranges every week. So, for example, week 1 is going to be 75% of your 1 rep max, 1 set to failure. Week 2 is going to be 85% of your 1 rep max, 1 set to failure. Week 3 is going to be 95% of your 90 to 95% of your 1 rep max, 1 set to failure. Deload. So you see how it rotates through rep ranges. You'll have a higher volume first week, second week, third week. Deload. After that, you could try hitting a PR. I suggest like putting 2 blocks together and then PRing. Do you herniated a disc? No, I had a severe back injury. I've got like a foot-long scar on my back at 48 stitches. But I have a grade 1 L5 and a fracture that nags me. And it's like, you know, like you got your spine, it's kind of like this, and you got that little piece that sticks off. So, I have a little hairline fracture in that piece, and it's just suck up, you know what I mean? Oh, you said you're cutting? You're cutting? What do you mean? Like, I do apologize if I missed some comments. They're going by so fast, it's hard to keep up with them. Currently cutting, done 6 weeks. I'm just Asking for future programming. You can hit normal set PRs on a cut, no problem. Yeah, Prophet Fear, feel free to contradict anything I say. I definitely defer to you when it comes to this kind of thing. So, Don't Trip 209, Mike Mentzer, pretty much is what we're talking about. So, you know, Prophet Fear and I have had this discussion because I did high intensity for 3 years, ran into plateaus, and then I responded really well to volume training. And I think what it comes down to is there's room for both. If you run into a plateau with one, you could switch to the other and see if that change of stimulus forces an adaptation, and then run that until you run into a plateau, and then you get that. So you don't want to stick with you're gonna get a certain. It's a return of investment starts to get less and less the longer you run certain programs, and you just got to switch things up every once in a while. And it seems like it's basically comes down to volume and intensity. I've gotten great results from both. Personally, anecdotally, I've had awesome results. I mean, I'd be a liar and say high intensity didn't work for me when I put 300 pounds on my total, but then it stopped working for me. And then when I switched to volume, I felt better, I looked better, and I blasted through all my plateaus. So it's like, I think a lot of it, what it comes down to is also how you lift, which is really Prophet Fear's specialty. How you're performing the lifts. Nice slow tempo stretch, fully stretched, that kind of thing. You get a lot of mileage out of just doing that simple change. What brand are your plates? That's a good question. These are Titan Fitness. These are barbell. Standard barbell. Sports Authority. Mostly Sports Authority. It's a hodgepodge. I bought most of these from an estate sale. The only thing I really spend my money on is barbells. I don't care about the weights. Weights are weights. You got limited funds. Spend your money on the equipment that matters. For me, it was barbells. I had to get a Texas deadlift bar. I got a Titan power bar. I got that Camber bar. I got a football bar. You can stick milk jugs on the end of it for all you care. 45 pounds is 45 pounds. Mentzer always said never to train the next day. Thoughts on rest frequency? Yeah, so with my split, I wind up usually doing 4 to 7 days of rest. If you look at like my next bench will be I won't bench again until next week, Wednesday. But there's some overlap because I will train shoulders and arms. There's like overlap in training. Is deck any good? I have no idea. Signified 6. You want to know what's awesome? When I walked outside to go to work this morning, the air smelled more affordable. Man, are you kidding me? I don't understand the arguments of my leftist friends. Like, they think like we're now in an authoritarian regime, and I'm like, the guy was president for 4 years. Like, we already did that. Like, and all these same motherfuckers are like, I'm leaving the country. You didn't leave last time. You're still here, whining and crying about it. And it's like, what is their argument? Anybody can look at a graph and see that our dollar lost like a significant amount of value in 2020. It's like, any correlation? I have video where it was both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, when Trump was trying to push the vaccine. They said, we'll never, ever take a vaccine that Trump had his hands in. They are saying it's poison and you should never take it. And then as soon as he was president, what did he do? He tried to force us to take the same vaccine. Do people not have, like, have we lost our ability to remember 2 weeks ago? We get fucking lemmings. Don't trip, thank you, brother. If I could work out with anyone dead or alive, if I could work out with anyone dead or alive, who would it be? All right, Ronnie Coleman. Wait, baby. Yeah, buddy. My great buddy Max just put me on blast. What did he put you on blast about, Josh? What are your thoughts on heavyweight, low rep people training 6 days a week? Heavyweight, low rep, 6 days a week. But you can make an argument that's me. I mean, I split the body parts up. No, even I don't train heavy 6 days a week. I would say, you know what? Everything's great until it's not. Pay attention to your body. You start hurting, it's trying to tell you something. Freddie BLU, why are you here? Why are you here? Because you're here, roll the bones. Roll the bones. Wellington, hot man. Regular person, non-responder, 3% super responder, sky's the limit. You guys are talking about, what am I missing here? Winstrol, no good. I don't know. I've never tried Winstrol. I ran Masterone for a while. And that was okay. Now I'm on DHB and I love it. Absolutely love it. I can take like the smallest efficacious amount and I'm not having side effects. It's cleared my skin up. My blood pressure's on point. I feel great. I feel like I'm 25 years old. I'm new here. Max 5 rep bench. 5 reps? 340 maybe? Somewhere around there. Max got mad because I told a 14-year-old not to use SARMs in your live. He hates me again for it. Wait, Max got mad because you told a 14-year-old not to use SARMs? Am I getting that right? How many times have you been married? 2. And hopefully this is the last one. Josh, what? Why would you get... Okay, first of all, that doesn't logically make sense. Why would you get upset? What do they call it? SARMs, androgen receptor, SARMS. I forgot what the acronym stands for, but they're basically targeted androgen receptor. But there's not a lot of human trial research on them. So that's the reason why when you buy SARMs, you have to buy it as research chemicals. Now, a lot of people get good results from them and swear by them, but you definitely can't make the argument that they're healthy or better than steroids. As a matter of fact, if you look up the negative side effects that a lot of people are having, it seems like SARMs are worse than steroids. Now, that's also, you gotta sift through that too, because you need to separate the wheat from the chaff. The people that are abusing stuff are taking, how much are they taking? How long have they taken it for? Body, like, there's just so many factors to consider. You can say steroids bad. Are they? I mean, they give Anadrol to bedridden patients so that they don't lose muscle mass. Is that bad? They give TRT to guys that are hypogynoidism. I don't think I said that right. Is that bad? There's tons of medical uses. Recovering from injury, you got guys like Peyton Manning broke his neck, and they said that he used like growth hormone and some other stuff, illegal for the NFL. You're gonna tell me that fixing a broken neck's bad? Recovering from injuries, you feel younger, you can still continue to do the things you love well into your later age. Is that bad? what's bad? This damages you. You know, I get a lot of people tell me that steroids are going to be, they're bad for you, and they drink like a 12 pack a day. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, okay. Or the garbage they eat. You know, like I honestly think that eating at McDonald's 2 or 3 times a week's worse than the amount of steroids I'm taking. I don't, but I have no medical proof of that, but that's just my suspicions. It's just like a lot of people could spend a whole bunch of time looking at themselves and trying to figure out what they need to do better instead of focusing on what other people are doing. You know, and and I say that like lovingly because a lot of people come on and be like, "You take steroids." I'm like, why don't you ask me instead of telling me? You know, you know, like ask me what I'm doing. I'll tell you. Rest time. Let's hit that next set. Yeah. Thank you, Josh. Hold on, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Be right back. How are you here? I just peed on the side of the house. Don't tell my wife. So, Bob, real quick. 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is it a 4-second pause? 2 up. Bob's trying to have me do these things called tempo reps, and I need to make sure I'm doing them right. Tempo 4, 1 second pause, 2, 1 second pause. Is that correct? Yeah, I love tempo reps. Have you been getting good results from them? ED, it's all a scam. What is? That's how you know he uses it. Uses what? Who are we talking to? Especially with the Camber bar. Oh, election. Like talking about me being on steroids. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you. And the weights. What do you mean? I don't care, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to follow your conversation. I'm 12 with only dumbbells. What should I do? Find something heavy. All right, let me lift this and we'll get back to that. Is that correct? Is that how you wanted me to do that? And then if that is correct, how many did you want me to do? Um, I started out with just a landmine, which is a barbell stuck in the corner of a room that you can lift like a lever, put a weight on the end of it. That was my entire gym for a year and a half, and I got great results with just 2 plates. You got a couple dumbbells, get working. Find something heavy, fill buckets up with rocks, whatever, break discs. Find a pipe, put some shit on the end of it, start bench your, lots of push-ups and pull-ups, push-ups and pull-ups, push-ups and pull-ups. Oh, I was supposed to superset that with push-ups, huh? I don't care if you use roids. And no, I do use. See, here's the thing, there, Ed, is like you weren't in on the conversation I just had 10 minutes ago, where I explained in great detail pretty much everything I do, and then you came in and you're like, bah! I've talked about my protocols ad nauseum to the point where it's like I can recite them like I'm reading off a teleprompter because people ask me every 5 minutes. And then I get like you guys, like you come in and then accuse me of something that I literally just explained to everybody. uh, Greetings from Indonesia. But no, it's cool. It's cool. Like I'll tell you anything you want to know. Like I don't care. Like okay, I use 200 milligrams of test, 100 milligrams of DHB is what I'm currently running. I've done more for competition. I generally try to do as little as possible. I don't recommend to anybody that hasn't explored their natural potential. And I also don't think they're bad either. They're not good or bad. It's all how you use them. Hi from Japan, one of my favorite countries. I love your people. I love your culture. I would consider myself a bit of a weeb, maybe borderline otaku. 200 milligrams trend, is that? No, good Lord, no. DHB, 100 milligrams a week. 200 milligrams of test. 200 milligrams of trend is not, is that a lot? I think that's a pretty small amount for trenbolone, but I don't know because I don't use trend. And if you're over 50, you shouldn't touch that. That's a great way to like really. Trenbolone will definitely increase your cholesterol and raise your blood pressure, which for guys my age is the number one killer. And right now my blood pressure is usually right around 120/70. If I started using something like Tren, it'd probably bump that up to like stroke levels. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. There's a way better compounds that you'll get way better results from. And okay, at my age, if I wanted to become a mass monster, I weigh 220 now, sure, I could go buy Tren, I could start blasting, and I'll get fucking yoked. Put on 20 pounds, whatever. But that is gonna, like, it's just, bad idea. Bad idea. I got kids, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a good way to check out early. I don't think, I can't find a recommendation of use for trenbolone for guys my age under any circumstance. If you're trying to come back from an injury, there's way better compounds. If you want to just look good, there's way better compounds. You know what I mean? Like that are way easier on your body. And I use Anadrol when I compete. Life's classroom. Oh, don't make me put you on timeout. All right. Life's classroom. You want me to put you on a timeout? Is competing your main source of income? No, God, no. I'm in commercial construction. I'm the Las Vegas area safety manager for Southwest Steel. I run the entire city area. Now, I would love to make money doing this. Make the switch. Absolutely. I've been busting my ass to get this YouTube channel going with the intention of opening up a gym, get my name out there. I'm relatively known in the lifting community, powerlifting, and I have a pretty good name. Everybody here, the USPA is based here in Vegas, so all the powerlifters know me, and at the top of the organization, they're all here, and we're all friends. So a little bit of name recognition is really what my main goal for doing these videos was. But if I can make revenue doing this, oh, absolutely, in a heartbeat I would. But no, unfortunately, I get my ass up at 3 in the morning and I go to work every day. 4 to 6 reps superset with push-ups. I don't know if I have 4 to 6 reps in me, but we'll try it. All right. California love. Get big arch first. One, two, three. Oh shit. Nope. Push-ups. Whip. Right. Whew. Is that good enough set for you? Yeah. Runner boy, what's up, brother? Thank you. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Can't wait to see him with this shirt on. Yeah, I heard Cephas is live. I don't. Are you guys suggesting I go over this page? Yolanda, yeah, I 100% agree with you. Rodrigo, you look small. Thank you. Are you talking about like? I love YouTube. I have a question for you, by the way. Does taking testosterone affect an already pregnant woman when having sex? What do you mean? You mean like, okay, something to really consider. Actually, this is a problem. Some people get TRT and it's like a cream. If you have a wife or kids in the house, you gotta be really careful with that stuff because, you know, even just like touching doorknobs or faucets, because women, any kind of introduction of exogenous hormones, they're hyper responsive to it, so it wouldn't take much. And if you want to make sure that I wouldn't even have a testosterone cream in my house with kids and a wife, because it can affect them for real. I mean, there's like studies, there's not studies but reports. The Lionheart. Can you imagine that? You're using testosterone cream, you wake up the next day and your daughter's got a mustache. Like, oh, my bad. The shot, if you have sex while she's pregnant, does it affect the baby? No. Well, give it to her for sure. I hope that's not what we're talking about. You know, it's interesting. There's studies about the introduction of testosterone to the fetus, and it's kind of like the temperature of a chicken egg determines whether it's male or female. Introducing testosterone to a baby in the womb at a certain point will greatly determine its physical outcome. There's studies on it. I should do a talk about it because my wife's going to school to be a microbiologist. She goes to UNLV, and she's the one that showed me the papers on it. Bobby, thank you. But I know that like testosterone greatly affects like the gender at a certain point of development. If it's introduced, it will determine a whole bunch of stuff. I can't think of now like what it affects. But long story short, yeah, I mean, anytime you introduce any kind of exogenous hormone to a clean endocrine system, it's gonna change a whole bunch of stuff. One morning you wake up and realize the juice effect is gone. Yeah, baby. That's what happened to me at the age of 45. I was all natural. And I just noticed one day, I'm like, God, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And beautiful wife. And I never always found her attractive, but I was just like, I'm not really interested. Play with my kids. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. All I want to do is sit and watch YouTube videos and eat. Buddy of mine said, why don't you get your fucking blood work done? So I did. And I was low. So I went on testosterone. And it changed my life. You'll never, ever hear me argue against the use of TRT for guys over the age of 40. It's a big time game changer. Now, I might have swung the pendulum a little too far. Did a couple cycles, okay. But right now we're back to what I consider to be a reasonable amount. You play high school football? I sure did. Basketball too. Well, my edging streak is over. Thanks. I'm not sure what that means. Let's look that up. Oh. Edging is a sexual technique that involves stimulating the body to the point of orgasm, then stopping and starting again. It can be practiced by individuals or groups. So that would be like tantric sex. Except for without friends. Dancing with myself. Uh-oh, dancing with myself. My girlfriend, she's at the end and she is starting to cry. Let me go on like a blister in the sun. Well, thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. All right. Just the testosterone. Please don't look it up. I did. I know, right? What's your legs look like? It's kind of hard to tell with these pants on. I don't know. I mean, look at that. Wow, rock hard. I don't know how they compare to, say, a bodybuilder, but I can tell you that I could squat 650 pounds. What's your take on clen? Dangerous. Really affects heart rate. Like guys my age, our number one issue is hypertension. Cholesterol causes hypertension. Everything causes hypertension. Hypertension kills your organs over time. Something like clen, I mean, sure. What are you taking it for? Is what I would ask. What are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? If you're not making money on stage as a bodybuilder, I see no reason to do that kind of damage to your body knowingly and willingly. Look up Frozen. Frozen hernia. Oh shit. What's your last cycle? I'm currently on 200 milligrams of testosterone and 100 milligrams of DHB a week. My last competition, I was on 250 test and 50 milligrams of anadrol up until like it was 8 weeks total. So when I got to like week 7, I bumped that up to 100 milligrams of anadrol and 500 milligrams of test. That really blasted right through the competition. And then after that, I immediately cut all that out and went down to what I'm on now. And honestly, since I started running DHB, I don't think I'll ever go to anything else, because I'll tell you what, you can use a minimum amount of this stuff. It's really, do some research on it. It's really awesome. It's got a lot of the same, we'll say, benefits as trenbolone without any of the side effects. Like my blood pressure is 120/70, resting heart rate's 71. You know what I mean? Like for a 50-year-old, that's, you can't ask for, I don't have acne. I got all my hair. My pee-pee works, mostly. Yeah, I still got all my teeth. Too much testosterone promotes prostate cancer. Yeah, so I just had my blood work done. There's a little misconception with that. So here's the deal. The argument is whether testosterone is a carcinogen or not. And it's not. They've done studies on it, but what it does promote is if you have cancer cells in your body, exogenous hormones can promote the growth of them, but they don't cause them. Does that make sense? So testosterone by itself is not carcinogenic, but if you have any kind of cancers, and it correlates a lot with immune system, and it correlates a lot with body fat percentage, something to consider. Had the guy work with an Iwo Jima shirt. He didn't even know what it was. I would have slapped him. I'm a nonviolent man, and I'll walk away from any fight. I'll try to talk you down. Yeah, I'll give you my wallet. When you don't, no. That's that makes me angry. Are you clean? I got off work. I didn't take a shower. Clean to cut. Yeah, no, clenbuterol works great for cutting, but because it's so hard on your body, my question is why would you put your body through that much stress? What's your goals? What are you trying to do with the cut? Like, you have like because I mean, it could be a useful tool for someone that's just got stubborn weight and they want to get it off, and you're young and you can put yourself through that. But just understand what the risks are. So my next exercise is overhead press. I got to work up to 185 using the football bar. Hell yeah. Well, this is going to be fun. This fucking monster. My warm-up set. Dude never hits legs. Never work him out. Trembolone Tommy. That's cute. Did you come up with that all by yourself? Steph, best advice for women trying to lose body fat. What's your age? I know women don't like to say what their age is, but okay. Here's the thing, I need context because the easiest answer is cardio. Cardio and strength training. I always tell people, like, focus on progressive overload, lift weights to get stronger, and your weight will take care of itself. But for people that are a certain weight, depending on the amount of percentage of body fat they need to lose, sometimes you have to introduce diet and cardio. Obviously, calories in, calories out is king. The law of thermodynamics, you can't create matter from something. So, if you're taking in less calories than your body needs daily, you're going to lose weight. But that's a struggle for a lot of people. So that's why I always tell them, don't worry about diet, just try to get stronger. At a certain point, though, you might want to consider introducing certain things into your supplements, if you know what I mean. Conqueror Black God. So, I wasn't going to dignify the leg thing, but right now I am the #1 squatter in the world, all federations, for my age and weight, which is 50 years old, 220 weight class. On record, I have 611 pounds in competition, and currently in the gym, I'm squatting 650. Okay. Oh, look at this ass. Look at this thing. That's fucking beautiful. God, touch it. Just grab that sucker. Rock hard. Bro, you look like an action figure. Thank you. My bench is currently right around 405. DHB. Yes, you're right. Verified value. Stay safe, brother. I was diagnosed. Ooh. Rhabdomyolysis. Oh, somebody I know has that. So what's the prognosis for that? Like, I mean, that sounds horrible, and I'm very sorry to hear that. Is there anything we can do to help you? Sid Vargas, I'm going to grow my channel when you start making money off views. You tell me. Here's what I'll tell you. I enjoy making the content. Whether I make any money off of it, I don't care. A lot of people, there's a lot of YouTubers that lift. They want to be a YouTuber, but they also happen to lift weights. I'm a lifter that happens to have a YouTube channel. So my content's never going to change. I'm going to be me, no matter what. And you'll eventually gain some kind of an audience that wants to see you because you're you. They're getting what you're providing to them. If you got a good personality and you speak well and you're entertaining and you're funny, you might grow your audience really fast. If you're boring and ugly like me, it might take a couple of years. Let's just put it this way. I'm not quitting my day job. But see that one motivated guy? We lift because we love it. It doesn't matter. I pay to lift. I pay to compete. The Botox is working. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Bob. Rhabdo. What is your take on DECA? I don't know much about DECA. I don't believe I've tried that. I have tried Trenbolone. I did that for a couple of weeks, and that was really bad. DECA, I don't think because I know they run those with each other commonly. A lot of guys I know are on both. Are you IFBB? I wish. That would be really cool. A lot of people say I should try bodybuilding, and I think I might. I'm a power lifter. I've never tried to really sculpt my physique. I've always just tried to lift to be strong. I guess I got decent genetics. Sid Vargas, absolutely. I do. Do you get homosexual fantasies off trend? I tell you what, this is for real. So I normally take Anadrol about 8 weeks before a competition. Well, one time my buddy said, "Why are you messing around? Just take the strongest stuff there is. Quit playing around. Just take Tren." And I don't know that it's the strongest stuff, but that's what he said. So I went on I forgot what the dose was, but week 1, I noticed that I had higher blood pressure and I was starting to get a little tiny bit of acne, but it was no big deal, just a couple pimples. Week 2, I noticed I was getting really angry at just the dumbest stuff. Like the kids would leave the cabinet doors open and I would just have these hyper violent thoughts of like ripping heads off and just like starting to smash stuff. Now I didn't react. I'm standing there like, whoa, where's that coming from? I go look in the mirror and I'm like, where are you, buddy? You know what I mean? Like, I just get mad and I just think like, what if I just stabbed him in the fucking, like, whoa, where'd you go? Come back. So then I thought about it and then I was getting super emotional. I'd watch movies, I'd just start crying. Like or I'd hear a song that I liked as a child, like a childhood song. It could be anything. It could be like whatever, Van Halen. And I start crying. I'm like, what the hell? And that's when I realized, I'm like, oh man, this stuff is no joke. So week 3, I got off of it. And honestly, if you're over the age of 40, don't take Tren. I would never tell anybody not to take something. I would say your life, figure out what works for you. If you're over 40, don't take Tren. It's just bad. There's nothing good that's going to come from it. There's better compounds that are more suited for gentlemen our age. Oh, the funny hater here. I like the haters. They're funny. Well, I like haters if they're funny. If you're not funny, you suck. Did you get paranoid while driving? Yeah, that was the other thing. Yes, paranoia. Was it induced by steroids? No, Trenbolone specifically. I've taken Anadrol, Anavar. Oh, I disconnected there for a second. I've taken Anadrol, Anavar, DHB, Nandrolone, Masterone, and testosterone in all of its mixes at one point or another. Not at the same time. Never had any notable side effects or aggression or issues from anything I took. And mind you, I did keep the amounts reasonably small. Tren was the only one where it was like a psychosis. Like literally, like I was walking around with these intrusive thoughts about just like really like inappropriately violent thoughts for trivial things, like garbage can being on the road and the wind would someone moved it so they could park in front of my house and I was just like, I'll fucking slash your tires, bash your windows, and I'm like, whoa, okay, they can park there, it's legal. You know what I mean? Like, don't move. Normally I'm just like happy-go-lucky and I just want to kill everybody for just the dumbest shit. The camo shirts on the woods. Yeah. Do people really need to stack? Isn't test good enough? Well, it depends. I mean, like, it depends what you're trying to do. Here's the reason why people stack is because testosterone, when you first get on it, generally speaking, most men experience, especially if they're at their upper range of what's considered natural, maybe a hair above that. I was shooting for that 1100, 1200 range. Sports TRT. It's a cycle, let's be honest. You put on 8 pounds of muscle mass and your body will recomposition. You lose fat. You just start looking like, whoa, I look good. Holy shit. But then it stops. You just run into a plateau and that's it. Then it's a grind. That's the same work you did when you were natural. All these people that think you just go on testosterone and turn into Ronnie Coleman. No, you'll get a little bit out of it and it'll happen really fast and you'll want more of that. And you'll find that the gains come just as slow as they were when you were natural. That's testosterone. And what happens? So people either take more and more tests. Testosterone is the best a steroid you can take because it's testosterone. But there's problems with it. There's problems with the way the body, it fucks your endocrine system up, and it messes with your estrogen levels and a whole bunch of other things. So just adding more and more tests to get the same, you want to keep getting those gains. It's just not going to work. It's a bad idea. It's going to raise your blood pressure. It's going to raise your cholesterol. It's going to increase your red blood cell count. It's going to make your blood thick like soup. It's going to, it's going to cause a bunch of problems. Don't do it. So what happens? You find another compound to add on top of that, and then you get kind of like a scaled result, like an exponential result, kind of like a Richter scale, where category 2 is 2 times as strong as category 1, and category 3 is 2 times as strong as category 2, and it's exponential. That's the kind of what stacking does to a point. So yeah, it makes sense for a lot of people to use a minimum amount of test, a tiny amount, add a little bit of something on top of it to get 4 times the result as you would as a normal amount of testosterone, right? But people get addicted to that, and they just take it too far, and that's when it gets bad really fast. That's the thing, is like you got to really, really, really check yourself in the mirror, because it's dangerous and it will kill you. Have you ever developed gyno? No. I've never developed gyno because I check myself. I still have all my hair. What do you think a good bench press barbell ratio? 1.5 times body weight. For squat and deadlift, 2 times body weight. If you do those 3, you are legitimately strong, and you are considered in like the top 5 percentile of men on the planet. Good goal for every man. 1.5 times body weight for bench, 2 times for squat and deadlift. You get those numbers, go compete. Join a powerlifting. I think every man should shoot for that. That's my personal opinion. One motivated guy, dude, you are legitimately getting strong, brother. Like, I saw your deadlift the other day. Where's your bench at? How are you doing with that? The androlone, high prolactin levels lead to lactating, literally. Yeah, man. We didn't even talk about that. So, like, I would hardly consider myself an expert on anabolics. I know a lot about the stuff that I've taken because I've done a lot of research on it, but there's a ton of compounds out there that I couldn't tell you a single thing about. But yeah, that was one of the things that they talked about was the prolactin, and literally you could start, but you can grow tits. That's all bad. You don't want to do that. I would think that's antithetical to the physique you're trying to sculpt, growing boobies. Charlie, did you see the UFC legend Tank Abbott reach bench 315 after liver transplant, dying? So Tank Abbott, I believe, had like a over 600-pound bench at one point. He was a tank. I did not see that, but I'm going to look that up. It's good to see that he's doing better. Dan Panobano, it's really 2 times body weight. Well, think about for the average guy who works 40 plus hours a week, has a family, wife and kids, probably doesn't want to be an elite level powerlifter or bodybuilder, just wants to be physically strong. Getting up to 101.5 times body weight, I think is a good goal to set that's achievable for most men. If they work hard and they're consistent, and getting to that will teach you that you have what it takes to push yourself if you so choose to, but it's not so much of a commitment that it's going to become all-time consuming. It's just a good and the other thing it does is it'll bulletproof your body because you've got that level of strength, and that'll carry over to everything that you're doing. You're going to feel better, you're going to look better, you're going to be better. You start pushing 2 times body weight for bench, that's legitimately elite territory. That takes a lot of work and a lot of years to get to for most people. But what are we talking about? A 200-pound man has to get a 400-pound bench? Now, while YouTube makes it seem like everyone and their mom can bench 405, what gym have you walked into where you saw a guy pushing 4 plates? And tell me how many of them were there. Usually, I don't see anybody in any of the gyms. Occasionally, there's that one monster that comes in and does 5 plates, whatever. There's that guy. He's there. But generally speaking, most of the guys can't even hit 315. So 2 times body weight per bench is exceptional. That's elite. Ice baths. I'm reading science. Dr. Mike Israetel did a podcast where they talked about ice baths, and he had links to some publications that were interesting. It actually kind of shows that it kills your gains. And I wish I had the study in front of me. I think ice baths are great. I don't think you should do them after you train. What do you think, Rich Piana? Rich Piana is... I met him a couple times because he ran the 5% guys, and they would always come to nationals and worlds here in Vegas. Nicest guy in the world, man. Genuine, freak in nature. He knew exactly what he was. We had kids on our powerlifting team. This one 13-year-old girl was scared to even talk to him. And I went up to him and said, "Hey, Rich, she wants to take a picture with you." And he stopped what he was doing with his entourage with these giant, ugly gorillas with face tattoos standing around him. And he took a picture with her. Just a real sweetheart. Unfortunate that he passed away, but, here's the thing. Rich Piana, the way he lived, would he have grown old gracefully? Do you think that would have happened for him? So, honestly, he kind of went out the way he should have. I hate to say it, but it's like I just can't see him bearing to get into his 60s and 70s without some serious mental help. You know what I mean? And he did it, man. He put his mark on the world for good or bad, and he showed all of us just how dangerous this stuff really is. 270 bench press on a Smith machine. Jesus, power in 3 months. 155. 18 years old. That's outstanding. Dude, that's what I had for the first 2 or 3 years of my life with a Smith machine. Now, we'll say this, though. You'll get really strong pushing in a single plane of motion, and you can direct all that force into one direction. You don't have to worry about stability. So when you eventually do switch to a barbell, don't be shocked if that number drops down drastically. It won't take you long to catch up to where you were. If you could legitimately do 270 on the Smith machine, you might drop down to 215 when you hit a normal bench. It might even be less than that, maybe 185. But as soon as you get to work, you'll catch up really quickly. That's what happened with me for squats. All I had was a Smith machine, and I was literally squatting 6 plates on that thing. And then when I went to barbell squat, I almost fell over, first of all, because I didn't know how to stabilize myself properly. I couldn't even do 3 plates. But it didn't take me long to catch up. A couple months, you know what I mean? Dude, 200-some kilogram deadlift, 18 years old. Damn, how much you weigh? Can't help my brother. I know you're feeling that. How big are you, though? That's a 200 kilogram deadlift at 18 years old. My brother did it easily. Yeah, siblings, man. Rich Piana's 11, a legend. 11. Rich Piana's a legend. I love how some people do his 8-hour arm workout. That's crazy. And for anyone who thinks that his 8-hour arm workout's a gimmick, it isn't. That fool did that. Did Rich start doing synthol? No, this is what I suspect. Rich didn't do synthol. I honestly suspect that he had silicone implants in some of his areas because his arms didn't move naturally. They were super stiff. But he had talked about how he used synthol earlier in his career to a lot of bodybuilders. If they're deficient in some area, they'll puff that specific area up to make it look more meaty. But what are you doing? You're shooting oil into your muscle. It's just destroying the muscle tissue. So he got away from that, but I really do think he had implants. That's what I suspect Rich had. But he was also legitimately strong, too. Thoughts on dropping alcohol. 31 years old, 2 kids, always done lifting. I'm running a small construction business. Myself, drinking almost daily. So I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I've been sober since 2013. I don't begrudge anybody that can drink responsibly and has a good time, and if it's not affecting you negatively, by all means, please continue. The issue is like when you feel like you need to stop and you can't, there's nothing wrong with getting some help, and I am 100% here for you, brother. Absolutely. I can't, like, dude, alcohol's out. Like, I would love to go out and have a beer with the guys, but it's just, I can't drink. Unfortunately, I don't have an off switch. Well, these comments are like way behind. Yes, and I love you. I love you too, brother. AA helps. Yeah, I still go to AA, by the way. If it was silicone, they did a good job. Well, Rich had some money. I'll tell you what. Awesome, thanks. I expected. It sounds like a stabilizer muscles needing to catch up from the Smith machine. Yeah, and it won't take long. You know, honestly, I don't know if your gym has a barbell or dumbbells or something where you could just like incorporate that into your Smith machine workout to just start getting after it. But dude, 270 is 270. I don't care what anyone says. The bar went down, the bar went up. Hi, hot boy. I'm 50. Thank you. All right. Holy shit. I need to get after this. Dude, my wife's going to kill me. All right. Oh, what are we doing? You said 185 to failure, right? We gonna warm up set. Where's my other collar? Doo-da, doo-da. My next workout's going to be squats. So for all you guys that say I don't train legs, hope you join me for that one. Actually, I might do deadlift next. I have to think about that. No, I think it's squats. Sun's out, buns out. Looks like you're benching a train axle on wheels. Yeah, it's a football bar. Better for the shoulders. You guys over 50, what's the number one thing you hear is like, I used to bench, but I can't anymore because my shoulders are fucked up. Or they can bench, but they can't lift their arms over their head. So if you can find something like a football bar, we can switch the grips and rotate your wrist position. Put yourself in a little bit safer position. Not be in the same plane of motion all the time. Switch things up a little bit. It'll help keep your shoulders safer. Overhead press 5 rep max. Well, I got 185 on the bar, so we'll see how many times I can do that. Wife's gonna keep this man under control. Sheesh. Well, I mean, okay. I work every day, come home, get the kids, come out here, do a live stream, get the yapping with you guys. 2.5, 3 hours goes by to do 40 minutes of training, which leaves us, what, an hour or so? And yeah, she's like, come on, man. Family's a priority too. Reasonable compromise. Try to keep it under 2 hours. Hey, guys, my bones are taken. Must be a storm a brewing. The phrase, Grandpa. Are you on TRT or nothing? No, I'm testing DHB. What do you love more, strength or hypertrophy? They're the same thing. Think about it. Hypertrophy is, growing muscle, and they're so entwined and overlapped and correlated. It's like that's what powerlifters don't understand, is like they could be bodybuilders, and a lot of bodybuilders could be powerlifters. Keep it simple. I just love lifting. Do you ever do smelling salts before lifting? Funny story. A buddy of mine, Stephen Provost, another powerlifter, loves his smelling salts. Gets and I hit a new bottle. I never tried it, so he finally said, "Why don't you try it out?" I was getting ready to do a lift. New bottle, open it up, take a big old whiff, and my nose is on fire. My eyes start watering, and I gassed myself. And obviously I failed the lift, and I was like, "What did you do to me? You gassed me." And I guess you're not supposed to. So I haven't done smelling salts since then, but a lot of people swear by them. One thing I do start using those, a mouth guard and clamping down. I noticed if you clamp your jaw, you can lift more. Ian, thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. You need creatine, bro. Do I? I eat a lot of red meat. Creatine's awesome. It does, for some people, it can be a water retention issue, which will fill you out. So a lot of people like that. I can't say anything negative about creatine. Every person, it has more to do with the ATP cycle, which is how the cells produce energy, which allows you to push harder, which then causes growth because you could do more volume. But creatine itself is not anabolic. But it is proven. It's proven to work. It's proven to be safe. J-Day Don, yes, 100%. Hypertrophy is a byproduct of strength due to progressive overload. Yes. I want to add to that, though. One thing I really started doing and focusing on that's gotten me a lot of results is both tempo, slow, and stretch. Like when I'm doing bench, I'll use like the camber bar to really stretch the pectoral muscles out. Or if I'm doing curls, I really try to get that stretch. If I'm doing pull-ups, I really try to get the back stretched out as much as possible. Because like back in the day, we used to hold it in the contracted position, squeeze. That was the old school thought. Squeeze, hold the barbell at the top, squeeze. But it's like science is it seems like it's pretty conclusive that more growth comes from stretching the muscle than contracting it. But both are important. And then time under tension, of course. I got colitis, so much protein over the years. Well, funny you should mention that, because that's another reason why I maintain a weight class at 220. When I was natural at the age of 45, I was right around 220 pounds. Now I'm not natural. I'm still right around 220 pounds. I look better, more chiseled, less fat, obviously. But I don't really need to eat a whole lot of protein to maintain this. I'm not hammering my kidneys and eating 300 grams of protein a day. I really just eat normal meals. If I needed to grow, if I want to get bigger, I want to get up to 250, 260, 270, do a bunch of drugs, just blow up and look like a molar, I can do it. But with that comes a lot of negative health effects, and there's just no way that it's worth, the juice is not worth the squeeze at my age. How much you repping? We're going to find out here in a minute, Todd. What is colitis? He would have to explain it, but it's a really serious issue, intestinal issue. That involves like your intestines leaking, doesn't it? I just subbed George. Thank you, George. I appreciate that. Hi from Arfanita. Arfanita? Where's that at? You look great, my friend. Thank you, Juan. Hi from Arfanita. Is that what country is that in? Well, the conversation of hypertrophy and strength training, is power building a myth or does it actually have benefits? Argentina. Okay, there we go. Well, the term power building, what are we talking about? Powerlifting, doing your 3 lifts, and then throwing other exercises in for bodybuilding, right? That's essentially what we're doing. I would say for the better part of a year, I barely did anything other than bench, squat, and deadlift. I didn't do my rows. I wasn't doing any accessory work. I was just going as hard as I could on those 3 lifts. And I'll be damned if I didn't have one of the best physiques I've ever had. And my back started getting a little small because I wasn't doing pull-ups and rows and stuff. Once I started introducing the accessories, I really, really filled out. So I was thinking like, well, there is something to the power building. I really like a powerlifting program with a handful of accessories that you rotate in and out to hit your soft spots or the areas that you would really like to focus on. And, kind of try to ride that calorie line to where your body needs. You want to put a little on, you can add a few calories. You want to take a little off, get rid of mayonnaise and creamer in your coffee. If you can find what your body's using on a daily basis, track your food for a couple of weeks, write down when you get up in the middle of the night, you eat, maul a thing of ice cream, whatever, write it all down and find out what you're actually using on a daily basis. And once you get a good picture of that, it's really, really easy to kind of ride that edge to where you don't really need to bulk up, you don't really need to cut. Todd Albert is was part of the best powerlifting high school in the country. What high school is that? What's the gear protocol? Big homie, Devil Doc. 200 milligrams of test, 100 milligrams of DHB. Been running that for a few months and I love it. That and how much protein? I don't really know. I would say maybe 100 grams, 150 at most. Science time, is that weekly? Yes. All right, I gotta get this set done. What's my belt? What do you have me doing after this? Well, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm gonna have to cut it off after this set. So here we go, 185 pounds. Let's see what the old man can do. And again, this is a program that Bobby Forever wrote up for me, a little 6-week bench program. Normally I don't pick overhead presses. Well, that's not true. I usually do them on squat day. But I focus more on like lower weight, higher rep stuff. Really trying to do shoulder health as opposed to like max effort lifting. Shit. Oh, that's it. 185, 4 reps. Whew. Look at that. good though. All right. I just incorporated 1 vegetarian meal pack a day. Oh, you look like one of those crazy guys that think they're small but they're massive. Yeah, I do have that problem. I look in the mirror and I'm like, you suck. But then I'll see a picture of myself and I'm like, holy shit. Plant-based protein. I'm making it my last meal because it's not practical. It's a lot of mass. Plant-based protein. As long as it's not the artificial meat stuff. Because we eat a lot of like tofu and I try to stay away from soy stuff, but I don't really know. I don't know enough about the plant-based protein processed to really say good or bad, but I know a lot of protein bars use it. Thought bro was going to squat. No, I'm going to do that maybe. I gotta go boxing tomorrow. So we're doing boxing tomorrow. Friday, maybe? And I'm going to go heavy. Doodle man, thank you. That's nice strict form. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was just, why the big belly? I got, because I'm fucking old. And I'm sitting down. You guys ripped abs when you sit? Fucking assholes. I'm gonna suck it while I'm sitting here. Let's see you sit down. Let's see what you look like. Free Palestine. I got opinions on that, but we'll save that for another time. Sarge, thank you, brother. Jonas, can you watch my squat form? Yes, Instagram me, charles.widener. Not only will I watch your squat form, I will diagnose your squat, and I'll help you get better at it. We'll use barbell trackers, run your video, it'll give you a whole bunch of data, tell you velocity, resistance, it'll show your sticking points. We'll get your moment arm, get you the most leverage possible, get that barbell straight up and down so you're fighting gravity, you don't have any lateral instability. Squat doctor right here, baby. 51 and my belly fat gotta go somewhere. Hell yeah, baby. All right. Do you have a girlfriend? I have a wife, and she's gorgeous, and I love her. And on that note, Sarge, this generation. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing, Sarge. Generation is fucked. Yes. I had one kid said, I'm glad when people quit their jobs because that's closer to capitalism failing. And I'm like, the state paying you to live has to come from someone. Who do you think that's coming from? People that work. If nobody works, where are they going to get money from? There's no logic. And then I'm like, okay, if capitalism fails, what system do you intend to replace it with? Because, Russia and China had some fun back in the day. Can't wait to do that. Gulags for everybody. No, but the younger kids, my 9-year-old, my 13-year-old, they give me hope because they saw how stupid I waited so long to have kids that I'm the only Generation X parent in their school, and it blows everybody away. They're like, hey, is that your grandpa? But you know what I mean? Like, so there's a generational gap, and they were influenced. Like the kids, the younger kids, are swinging the pendulum in the other direction. So there is hope for the future. But it does come down to parenting, 100%. Block this Free Palestine guy, my God. No, you know what's funny is I was just going to let him go. Like, I don't care. So I honestly wanted to see how long he'd go before he gave up. It's like my daughter. Mom. Just ignore her. Mom. She's not going to stop. Mom. What? Is doing curls with water jugs effective? Yes, as long as you can get full range of motion and progressively overload the water jugs, i.e. make them heavier over time. More reps or more weight, one or the other. Insulated your own garage, good work. I know, dude, it gets hot out here in Vegas. Holy crap, I got a swamp cooler. I can keep it about 80 degrees when it's 115 outside. What do you do for work? I am the Las Vegas area safety manager for Southwest Steel. I was formerly a steel worker. We're doing construction and industrial work for the last, good Lord, since 2004, 2005, when I got out of the military. Hi from Italy. 5x5 build muscles just for strength. Yes. If you're new, it'll do both. But at a certain point, it's going to plateau because it'll become so inefficient. Once you get to a certain weight, it'll be such a grind to do 5 reps of 5 that you're going to want to switch to a different program. But it's an excellent program to start out with because it gets people introduced to the barbell, full range of motion, strong full body workouts. I can't recommend the 5x5 high enough for people that are starting out. I'm also a big fan of Wendler's 5-3-1. Genius. You're so funny. Thank you. Can I answer the question what I do for work? Love your singlet. Where'd you get it? The one that I wear in my competition? I have an Iron Rebel one that I've worn every powerlifting competition. Where the hell did I get that? Because they don't make it anymore. At a meet, someone stopped me and wanted to take a photo. Iron Rebel representative. He's like, I got a picture of you. We don't make that. I'm like, really? And it's in mint condition too, because when I wash it, I don't dry it, so it doesn't get all like fucked up, messed up. How long are your rest periods? When I'm talking to you guys, way too long. Normally 6 minutes. TRT or SARMs? Neither. Do 200 milligrams of test a week and 100 milligrams of DHB. I'm Korean. Need to show Korean people how you work out. Well, I don't think I'm going to live stream tomorrow because I got boxing and they don't allow cameras in the gym. But Friday I'm going to be doing squats, so we can all get together. But I do need to get going. Where you at? West Coast Wolverine. I saw you lurking there in the background. Thanks for being a good boy. I appreciate it. Do you drink coffee or pre-workout? Coffee, 100%. I'm still drinking coffee. Way too much coffee. This brother, I'm going to come back when you stream again. Thank you. I appreciate it. It won't be too long. I wish I could bring a camera into the boxing gym. I'm training with this guy. His name's Paul Mayorkin. He used to train under Freddie Roach. And he did Manny Pacquiao's team and Cesar Chavez. Like, he's got a good pedigree. He was a professional boxer, 14 fights, 10 wins, 4 knockouts. I think he had suffered some injuries in his hands. He's always got hand wraps on, so I think he fucked his hands up. But great coach, great with the kids. I'm doing sparring 2-3 times a week. I'm getting I'm like, we're getting good. I'm training with my kids, and I'm getting really, like, I want to film it, but he will not let me film in his gym at all. I tried sneaking a camera in and like setting it up on my bag, just try to, but it was at the wrong angle and all I got was the roof. I'm like, God damn it. But then I did actually post a little clip of my daughter training and he lost his mind on me. He's like, don't you ever post shit on my gym again without asking me. And I'm like, all right, bro. They're really serious about it. And okay, to be fair, he actually has professional boxers there. I'm nobody. I'm just some schmuck in the corner hitting a ding. He's got actual real fighters. I could see why he wouldn't want them being filmed, but I mean, come on, let me get a minute of my kids, for Christ's sake. They're actually getting really good. My daughter's got some paws. Do you go to AA meetings? I'm a recovering addict. I've been sober 7 years now. Awesome. Yes, absolutely. I love fellowship. I think fellowship is important. Can you do a live workout broadcast every day? I would like to try to, but I don't know if it's reasonable because of my work schedule and my family. We have a lot going on. Like certain days, my daughter's got chess club and boxing and a bunch of other stuff. But I would love to, natty or not. I'm a block, brick, stonemason, 33 years. Only weight I lift after work is my old lady, and I hope she doesn't see this. You're a lucky man, my friend George Jackson. Dude, hey, I'm obsessed. I love the sport of powerlifting, and I'm obsessed with getting myself into the Hall of Fame. I think I'm an elite level lifter. I'm ranked one of the best in the world, and I have a chance to leave my mark. Will I be remembered when I'm gone? Probably not. But you know what? I have this drive, this passion to just try to like put my stamp on it. And I don't necessarily think that what I do is right for everybody. There's probably a little bit of a mental obsession, and maybe I do have body dysmorphia, and maybe I have something to prove and I don't need to. But what I will say is that I think everybody should at least train like a powerlifter for a short period of time to just explore whether or not they have the passion for it, and it's good for you. It'll build you better. I feel like you play guitar, so that may be correct. No, Cran. However, I do got a drum set, and I play it regularly. My son's the guitarist. My daughter plays she's a percussionist like me. She's also got the glockenspiel. My wife plays saxophone. My son plays saxophone too. Where do you get your steroids? There's a TRT clinic here in town, and they service like high-end bodybuilders, notable people. And while you can't buy them at the clinic, they've got I know a guy. But now, if you wanted to buy them online, search. I'm going to put. Let me type it out. ZPHCSTORE. I'm not putting the link in the comments. I'm just putting what you should put in search. Type that in your search bar. ZPHC store. This is not an endorsement of them. This is a place that I can verify it's reputable, and I've done business with them in the past. If you're looking for a place online. Actually, I don't like them as people, to be honest with you. They're fucking assholes. But for the most part, I've gotten everything I've paid for. Your daughter and wife are blessed because they can learn exercises from you. Oh, man, I'm just so blessed. I love them so much. Serious question. What if you took steroids and didn't work out? Would you still get big or what? Yes. No. Okay. Certain steroids will cause you, like, for example, they give Anadrol to bedridden patients so they don't lose muscle mass. That's the medical use for that drug. So there's some studies to suggest that people that just took steroids did put a small percentage of lean muscle mass on their body. Was it enough? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I would say no, because you would only have to do a minimum of lightweight, higher rep exercise movements, push-ups, sit-ups, dumbbells, whatever, Zumba. Do something. If you're going to take the risk of fucking your endocrine system up, exercise. Do the training. Can you put muscle mass on and do nothing? Possibly. Studies suggest it's possible. Is it the juice worth the squeeze? Probably not. I'm 50 years old, C. Jones. Generally interested, what's your cycle like? I don't have a PCT routine because I'm 50. My cycle right now is 200 milligrams of testosterone, 100 milligrams of DHB. Love it. It's awesome. I'm getting awesome results from it. When I compete for powerlifting, I will bump the test up. I usually take like Sustanon, which is a steroid or a testosterone mix, and I'll add Anadrol to that. And that's generally all I do. That is it. Win, lose, or draw. And then after the meet, I drop back down and I'll take. Oh no, I'm wrong about that. I never stopped taking the DHB, so the DHB was also stacked with the Anadrol this last competition. So yeah, that's notable because that's still part of the soup. No cleanse, no. I just watch my calories and fucking, dude, I train every day, dude. I'm nuts. I box 3 days a week, and we go like rounds. You know, boxing going rounds. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good. I'm saying I do it. Because you think you're fighter, tough. You know, yeah, I can actually hold my own. Come on down to Vegas. Let's get in the ring. I'm okay. I really am. I've gotten a couple of really, really good sparring. I haven't done a sanctioned fight yet. But yeah, they're terrified of me. but they're still better. Like there's guys that are in my boxing gym that like are half my size and just whip my ass up and down the street. You know what I mean? It's time to bow down to Mother Russia. I mean, you got a little bit of a demographic issue to deal with. I got no problems with Mother Russia. Looks like my phone charger got unplugged. Oh, it did. Well, my phone's about to die. All right, gents, I need to call this a night. I love you guys. I'll probably live stream again Friday. I will see you all on the battlefield.